Have you ever been betrayed by someone you loved deeply? Have you ever found yourself torn between forgiveness and moving on? What would you do if the person who shattered your heart begged for a second chance? Today, I'm sharing a deeply personal and heart-wrenching story about betrayal, resilience, and an unexpected twist. My cheating ex-wife is now jealous of my new life and desperately wants me back. This isn't just any story, it's my story. Stay with me until the end because the last part of this tale is incredibly heartbreaking and you won't want to miss it. The journey I went through and the lessons I've learned are something everyone should hear. So, sit back and join me as I take you through one of my life's most tumultuous and ultimately transformative periods. I was with my wife for half my life, almost 40. I never thought she would leave or cheat. I did love her, but it wasn't perfect. We had friends who cheated, and she would always say she could never imagine being with anyone but me. A week after our almost 10th anniversary, she visited her parents. The warning signs were everywhere, but I trusted her love for me. She had the signs of a drug addict, never worked for years, had a personality disorder, and was always right. She would have guys and couples messaging her about sex and hooking up. She would say they annoy her and were just being friendly, and 15 plus would ignore the sex talk. I should have known better, but you think you know someone after 15 plus years. She called me every day, but the day before she called to break up, she didn't for days. I knew something was up, and when she did call, it was gaslighting, demanding I get out of the house that day, and lying about wanting kids for almost 10 years. The threats would keep coming after a few days and police calls. She finally showed up to talk. It took some convincing, but I found out she messed around. She lied about the drugs, but I found them in her bag. She was also on a chat group where I saved the videos and texts. It disgusted me. It was the most bizarre behavior I've ever witnessed. Thanks to my job, family, and friends, I got the separation done in 24 hours. The fighting afterward was rubbing in my face what she did with other people, ordering me like a slave to do certain things, trying to belittle me. I've had health issues that she tried to suggest were drug-related. It wasn't. It's stress and trauma-related. She was forced to move back home over 5 hours away, but it cost me the place I was living in, my pet, which I loved more than myself, and I'm back with my parents for a few months, so I'm not alone. I have a great job and supportive friends. Everyone has told me I look much better since I left her, but it feels like people are just being nice. I don't know what happened to her. She never even cried. At one point I thought I broke through and we could work it out, but she went for a drive, and when she returned, she was back to being cold. I even found out she wanted me out of the house so she could have the disgusting people she cheated on me with stay over. I'm not dating. It feels too soon and like I'm cheating, but I'm trying to start a new life. I joined the gym. I get out every day, whether driving or walking. My friends have been supportive. I have her blocked on everything because my blood pressure would spike just seeing her name, but I wish I could get over the anger. I can't because she's not even sorry. I just needed to vent email. The one person I thought would be there forever treated me worse than anyone in my entire life. She keeps trying to act normal and be friends, but not after what she did. I wish I could email her everything I feel, but it would fall on deaf ears. I'll be getting rid of my wedding ring today. Holding on to it is holding on to something I know will never happen. My relationship was a lie. I wish I could get over the anger, but I can't. How after you stop caring about someone you've known for half your life? Update. 1. Update time. I've been doing better, gained weight, went to the gym 3 days a week, managed to get some money, and am trying to meet new people, but it's hard at my age, almost 40. But my ex-wife is hell-bent on getting the last word. I received a letter from a lawyer, a cease that never had to be signed for. It had no date to reply and was basically about her ego, and for me to stop telling people what she did. Most of it was lies. The best part was the amount of grammatical errors and typos. The lawyer is real, but from what I can tell, he hardly gets work and only sent this to make a few $100. I didn't bother replying. She wanted a reaction and I wasn't giving her one. A few days later, she began harassing a friend, so I gave her a pet. She doesn't know how to clarify that she was concerned about the animal's well-being. She never cared about that animal. She wanted to get rid of it the day she told me things were over. It feels like a petty move to try and prove she can get away with what she wants or pretend she cares. Luckily, my friends will never talk to her. I'm hoping this ends soon. I'm fairly convinced she has a borderline personality disorder. She's on a lot of medication, drinks, smokes a ton of weed, and stays up all night talking to other jobless weirdos. I want to move on, but she only cares about her self-image to the point where she'll spend hundreds on a crappy lawyer to block me from doing anything about her talking to my friends. I know she's unwell, but I hope she gets a life or a rude awakening. Any advice or words of encouragement is appreciated. Update 2. Pointless rant, I guess. Thinking back, I can't believe some of the ridiculous crap they ask for when it's over. No less than a day or two after D-Day, when she realized money doesn't grow on trees, she asked if she could still borrow the car for the weekend to get groceries and run errands. This was after trying to kick me out of my own house, costing me my pet, which I loved like a child, bragging about messing around with other people and having her friends threaten me. She would also demand I lift boxes or dishes and place them in certain spots as a means of control. Not asking nicely, pointing and demanding I do it out of nowhere, asking to borrow equipment and tools, etc. I'm unsure if anyone experienced something similar, but it's something to look back at and laugh at now. It makes me realize what they're really like when they're not something they want. Update 3. Next update. As much as I tried no contact, we had mutual friends who felt like gossiping. Today they told me my ex-wife is in another relationship. I didn't need to hear that or want to. As glad as I am to be away from that toxic, cheating liar, it still feels like a punch to the throat. Leaving and saying it was to work on her mental health when that wasn't the case. It feels like the final lie. This will be a hard few days. Thank you to everyone. I slept poorly last night, but everyone's advice and input helped. Scorched earth on our lives, cheating, abusive, threatening letters, etc. I struggled a lot and concentrated on positive energy. However, I still suffered panic attacks whenever I was alone with my thoughts, especially at night. I posted a few months ago about dating, asking if it was too soon. Thanks everyone for the advice. I went through with it and I'm happy. I won't go into too much, but we're connected, we love each other's opinions, always agree on what type of future we want to have, and I've never had sex as physically and emotionally fulfilling as I did with her. We talk every day for hours on end. I know some may think it's too soon, but we connect so well that we have no interest in seeing anyone but each other. It gets better. The end of a relationship only means you can start a new one. I still think about my ex, but without any emotional attachment. I'm just sad I wasted so much time on her. Sad that her new boyfriend could be a nice guy and doesn't know what he's in for, but that's not my concern. I'm looking forward to ending this year by holding my new girlfriend in my arms and finally feeling like I have a purpose. You will get through this. Edit. Thanks for the gold. You people are amazing. I appreciate the support and concerns. I fully agree that it could be too soon, but I provided a broader explanation in a comment below. This wasn't something I rushed into, but it felt natural. We're both taking baby steps, but at the very least, it helped me realize how unhealthy my old relationship was. There's something better out there for everyone. Final update. Final update. Almost a year later, I had my first child and she's in the mental hospital. I don't think my posts were memorable, but I figured I'd post again to hopefully give someone some hope. She enjoyed going into chat rooms. In August 2020, my male 38 wife, female 35 of almost 15 years left me. She had been chatting with other men, women, and other acts, which I discovered she enjoyed by going into chat rooms. She lied about wanting kids for years, then tried to turn it around on me, saying I was using her for kids. She kicked me out, forced me to give away my pet, who was the closest thing to a child, and tried to destroy my life once so far as a cease and desist letter from a lawyer who never even bothered to spell check it. For what said I'm not allowed to defend myself in private conversations with her. I never heard from her after September 1st, 2020. She was mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically abusive, but it hurt. I was lost, felt like my life was waiting to end, and even contemplated speeding it up. Late October, I posted about seeing a girl I knew was a 50-50 split of people saying I was too early to start dating, but I went for it. I'm happy I did. It's been a roller coaster, but we're still together, and a few weeks after my divorce was finalized, I welcomed my first child into the world. My life has changed in a way I never thought was possible a year ago, and it's refreshing. My ex-wife earlier this year, she called me on a private number. She informed me she was in the mental hospital, that she tried killing herself, and that she was diagnosed with bipolar and BPD. I warned her and her family she had it during the breakup, but they ridiculed me. She told me her pity story, and then it was about, I know, the feeling of the guys and girls she's left with post-D-Day. I believe it was to fess up and have a fresh start. Fresh start because she asked about getting back together. I told her right away I was with someone and we were expecting. It hurt her, but she even tried suggesting she could be a good co-parent with me. I shot that down as well. Ever since, we kept minimal contact for divorce proceedings and items we wanted to return to each other. I have zero desire to return with her, even if I was single. My life is better without her. And now she sees that too. It kills her on the inside, and as petty as it sounds, I'm glad. She had no remorse for the family she destroyed. I have none for her regrets. So there, I know the feeling of post-D-Day. I know the emptiness, but it can get better. I never believed it was possible, but every morning I woke up with my beautiful child smiling at me and her amazing mother. Don't give up. I'm glad I didn't. Comments. Let's see how the community reacts with some comments and some more details from the OP. Underappreciated 54 starts us off, followed by the OP's response. Underappreciated 54. Followed your story from the first posting. Good for you. Your ex is not functional and has a warehouse full of baggage. Now she knows what her actions have gotten her. She is now alone and can have visions of you with your new family, everything around making your husband feel like crap, then having her family slag him does not exactly buy you a great future. Now they can all remind her that she threw you away and now you have a happy family while she has nothing and nobody. OP's response. Thanks. I'm glad you remembered my posts. I won't lie. Before she called from the hospital, I always wished I could be a fly on the wall when she heard I was with someone and expecting a kid. Getting to tell her that while she was in the mental hospital felt good. I never wished harm on her, but I think I deserved to tell her she didn't destroy my life, just the one we had together. The funny thing is, her mother called me right after the mental hospital call, told me how she was doing so much better and that my call helped, and then suggested I knock up some random girl. The timing doesn't make sense. I'm trying to suggest I cheated, and somehow my girlfriend was pregnant longer than 9 months. When my child was born, she called again to congratulate me. This woman encouraged my ex's bad behavior and doesn't care about my life. She wants to feel like she's a good person by supporting me. I just let her calls go to voicemail. Spinucula also chimes in with a quick comment. Congratulations, that's awesome to hear. Just one question. You have been with her for a long time. When did you notice red flags that she might be BPD? Did it start like that? OP responds, maybe 5 years before D-Day. She was seeing the doctor for childhood trauma and going to groups, but I knew it wasn't that. Her behavior, at times, was just too random. I started to recognize manic episodes the last year we were together. She was barely noticeable, took out a bunch of loans, could barely keep a friend for longer than a few, threatened to kill herself, etc. She was addicted to prescriptions and some illegal drugs. I wanted a new sports car because our SUV made her look old. I mentioned it to our family doctor, but nothing could be done if she asked for help. And she never thought she was wrong. It was childhood trauma and nothing else. The most heartbreaking moment was in the middle of the breakup. I told her this was a manic episode and that she needed to get help. When she called back from the mental hospital, she acknowledged how right I was, but the damage was done. Not to mention, she still has deceptive qualities where she uses her illness to manipulate people and stay home on long-term disability emotionally. I wish I could have helped her more, but nothing I did would have changed that. If I had been complacent, I think it would have eventually been an open relationship to her being with someone else. I think many people believe they could have done more, but most of the time, it's unavoidable. Last comment, coming from Butter is Man Tequila. But where is your pet? Who has the pet? The OP closes us out with, great story. My cat was older, but she was a darling and everyone loved her. But I had no choice and needed to give her up. A family member had a coworker say she was looking for a cat. I was nervous. My baby deserved only the best. The young lady looked like an angel when she appeared at the door. My cat is also nervous, but when she came in, they bonded. My cat is older, so, amazingly, she took her. Also, she always sends me pics so that I spoil her. The worst part was hearing her cries when I put her in the kennel and scrubbing her fur out of everything, just so I wouldn't fall apart thinking about her. But I got lucky. She went to quite possibly the best owner I could have asked for, and I also gained a new friend. In conclusion, my journey from the depths of despair to newfound happiness has been a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Despite my heartbreak, betrayal, and challenges surrounding me, my child's laughter, I refuse to let them define me. Instead, I embrace the opportunity for growth, healing, and love. Through the support of friends, the wisdom of strangers online, and the strength within myself, I found the courage to rebuild my life piece by piece. I confronted my pain, learned from my past, and opened my heart to the possibility of a brighter future. Today, I stand with gratitude for the love and joy surrounding me. My child's laughter, the warmth of my partner's embrace, and the knowledge that I am worthy of happiness. While scars from the past may linger, they remind me of the strength I possess and the resilience that resides within me. To anyone navigating their journey of heartache and healing, I offer this: hold on to hope, embrace the journey, and believe in the power of love to transform even the darkest days into a brighter tomorrow. Ultimately, we can love and be loved, which sustains us through life's most challenging moments. Thank you for taking the time to join me on this journey and for allowing me to share my story with you. If you found resonance in my experiences, or if my words offered even a glimmer of hope in your struggles, I invite you to subscribe to stay connected. By subscribing, you'll receive updates on future content, insights, and stories of resilience that may inspire you on your path of healing and growth. Let's continue to uplift and support one another as we navigate life's highs and lows. Remember, you are never alone. There is always hope for a brighter tomorrow. Subscribe today to be a part of our community of resilience and renewal. Thank you, and may your journey be filled with love, courage, and endless possibilities.